everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Weekly Bubble. I'm your host, Duke Magnum, and with me, as always, my co-host, Squiggy.
How's it going, everybody? Before we get this week's episode started, let's get a quick word from our sponsor.
This broadcast is brought to you by Nadon Family Home. At Nadon Family Home, we provide several services for individuals with special abilities. We have several group homes throughout Alaska. We also provide supportive employment and rehabilitation services. Our goal is to support our clients and to provide the highest quality of care as possible. And now, back to the show.
All right, Duke. So let them know what do we have updated this week. What's new out in the world? Any new shows, new games, new movies, anything?
Well, they just released Kirby Fighters 2 for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm also hearing news that they are planning to release a Nintendo Switch 2, is what they call it.
Nintendo Switch 2?
Yes.
Oh, and Kirby Fighters, you said?
Yeah, Kirby Fighters has been released recently.
That's pretty cool. Kirby's always been a cool character, I think. Like in Kirby's Dream Land, I used to have that for Game Boy Advance. And also, whenever I played Super Smash Bros., I'll always choose Kirby because you know how he could float?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, some people consider it cheating, but I think it was fair.
Oh, yeah.
But that's cool. So Kirby Fighters 2 is out now, and you said the Nintendo Switch 2, they gave a release date?
There isn't a release date on it.
Oh, they just announced that they're going to release it?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, also the PS5, right, is coming out this year, I think. The new PlayStation.
Oh. Didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a new PlayStation coming out this year. And also on Netflix, the new show Enola Holmes is out. It's it's like a spin-off kind. Not a spin-off, but like it's like based off of Sherlock Holmes' sister or something. And she's played by Millie Bobby Brown, who's 11 in Stranger Things. And then also, not 11 years old, but the character 11. And Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, as we know. But yeah, the trailer looked pretty cool. It looks interesting, a lot of mystery and suspense. So, yeah, check those things out. But it's funny that you mentioned Kirby Fighters 2 because the category of fighting games brings us right into this week's
Showdown. Now, in this week's Showdown, we have the most two iconic fighting video games ever. In one corner we have Street Fighter. The other one we have Mortal Kombat. Who will win this fight in this week's Showdown? Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh man, that's a good showdown. I feel like this is gonna be a good one. I mean, both games are just awesome. So, I don't know, Duke. This is gonna be a tough showdown for us. But let's get right into it. We're gonna start with round one. Round one: Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat. Which one do you think has the best music?
Oh, definitely Street Fighter, especially Street Fighter 2. Like, that music's more memorable. I don't remember as much of the music from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I feel like Mortal Kombat didn't really put much emphasis into their music. I don't know, actually. I don't really remember. Yeah, it's not like you said, it's not memorable, very memorable. Street Fighter, I know it's kind of like, I feel like that whole era of video games, they were very focused on that, like, on the music more so than Mortal Kombat was. I don't know. I don't think Street Fighter has like an actual theme or theme song or anything, right?
Well, I would say like when you turn on the game, there is that like intro that can be, there's like the intro music that can be considered the theme. Like, I've watched the Street Fighter cartoon and their intro is based off the intro music from the Street Fighter 2 video game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. So when Street Fighter came out, it was for Nintendo?
Yeah, Street Fighter 2.
Because I know Mortal Kombat originally it was also for Sega, right?
It was on Super Nintendo and Sega,
yeah.
I believe.
Sega. Remember that?
Yes.
But yeah, I get you. Like, I feel like Mortal Kombat didn't really put much attention into like their music, but yeah, I mean, honestly, personally, I feel like they're not as iconic music wise as like Super Mario or Sonic or like one of those
or even
games.
Mega Man.
Yeah, even Mega Man I feel like has some awesome music.
Oh yeah, you can
Like-
just jam out to this stuff all day.
Yeah, like it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Mortal Kombat, I don't think like, oh dude, gotta check out the music, no one really
Right.
says that. So I don't know, this is kind of a close call because they're both very like not really into the music. But what would you think? What would you say?
It's definitely Street Fighter for sure because I actually loved the music and stuff. I could listen to it all day if I wanted to.
Oh wow, okay.
I can make a dance theme party and have this music play throughout the whole party.
All right, we're gonna throw a dance theme party. Everyone's invited. Bring your Street Fighter costumes. All right, so then round 1 goes to Street Fighter. Now moving on to round 2, we're gonna go with best special moves. Which game had the better finishers, the better, just finishing moves?
That is a good question. I honestly have to think about this because they both had their unique special moves.
Yeah, I personally think Mortal Kombat, because each character had like something like significant to them, I guess. And I guess in a way Street Fighter did too, but I don't know, when I think of like finish him, it's like very like Mortal Kombat, and then you hit the finisher like Sub-Zero just using his ice, and then Scorpion throws his little chain, get over here, like it's like a lot of cool things that are very memorable. But I don't know, I personally I would say that I think Mortal Kombat takes it, but what do you think?
I could say it's an even.
Even?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what finishers do you like from Street Fighter?
Oh, finishers? I mean, or
like the special moves.
I like when Ryu does his Hadouken, Guile Sonic Boom, and when Blanca did the electricity shock, where kind of, I don't know how to describe it, where he rolls at people.
Yeah.
Then of course E Honda, like his super hitting with his arms, whatever you call that, and
That's
then
true.
also doing where he would fly at them, and I can't make out what he would say. And then of course Chun-Li with her fast kicking and also doing her spin kick. But Ryu and Ken also did that thing, also did a spin kick, but it was like different than Chun-Li.
Yeah.
It's like Chun-Li was upside down when she would do it, but
I see,
Ryu and
okay.
Ken, they weren't. Oh yeah, and another thing I remember was when Ryu and Ken would also not only do Hadouken, but the Shoryuken. Yeah, and Dhalsim, you can never forget his Yoga Flame, Yoga Fire, his
That's
stretches.
true. I guess I never thought of it that much when it came to Street Fighter. Personally, I feel like, that's a good point, honestly. Because, Mortal Kombat has their cool finishers. I guess it's like they gave them, like, powers, but also, like, the Hadoukens, too, like, they throw fire and stuff. So, yeah, I think you're right. I think it should be a tie because you made a good argument. So
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so round 2, best special moves is going to be a tie. So 1 point to Street Fighter, 1 point to Mortal Kombat. All right, next up, best graphics. Now, I know that over time the graphics have changed, right? But let's just say
Yes.
overall, like, we can start from the beginning. Like, when the game was released, which game do you think had better graphics?
Well, it's kind of iffy because, at the time, you look back at it now, like both games on Super Nintendo, it wasn't like the graphics were necessarily the right home about because they've aged now.
Yeah,
So
I
it's
feel
like-
like for that time, though, they were really
For
good.
that time, I'd have to really think about it.
Also, I feel like
I
Street Fighter, they tried to make it was obviously like an animated game,
animated game.
And I feel like Mortal Kombat, of course it was animated, but they tried to make it seem more realistic.
realistic.
You know what I mean? Like if you look at the original Mortal Kombat game,
Yeah.
it looked kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like the characters looked a little bit more lifelike. When clearly Street Fighter was meant to be like a cartoon,
Yes.
But I wouldn't say that's better graphics. I just feel like it was a different approach from the beginning, you know what I mean?
Right.
But as time went on, when you look at it today, I feel like Street Fighter tried to stick to that animated cartoon style. Although it did improve for sure, the graphics. But when you look at Mortal Kombat today, it's way better. Like the graphics are extremely like realistic. You know what I mean? So
right, realistic,
Yeah.
and this is almost kind of like comparing apples to oranges here.
yeah, that's why it's tough, because I do feel like Street Fighter is purposely sticking with
Right.
that classic like video game look, but at the same time they're still improving it.
Right.
But I feel like when it comes to just like not really like which game is do we like more, but just based on graphics alone,
Right.
I do feel like Mortal Kombat has shined more now.
Yeah, I can see your point, but since they were good with cartoon graphics, I'm going to have to split the point between them, or give them both the point on this.
So you think that the Street Fighter, the graphics actually can keep up with Mortal Kombat?
Well, I'm giving them both acknowledgement for having good graphics.
Oh, I see. Okay.
For having good graphics.
But if you had to choose one, who has a better graphics? Like graphics would be as in like making it seem more believable or
more
realistic.
believable.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I know also that Mortal Kombat is super fake and violent. Like they like rip each other's hearts out or like
Right.
pull their spines out. And it's like whoa, but
I will have to give them the point on darker graphics
yeah,
and
for
stuff.
sure.
So, yes, they will have to take this point and stuff.
I do feel like even Mortal Kombat 11, I saw some gameplay of it recently, and it just reminded me like, man, this game, like, although it's just a fighting game, you know, and they're like everything, just the backgrounds, the costumes, it's just, I feel like it has a better graphics. So I agree. I think it should take the point. So then now, coming to a close on this round, Street Fighter 2 points, Mortal Kombat 2 points. So we've got a tie.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're gonna move on to our last round. Oh no, we have 2 more rounds. The next round, which is round 4. Which game has better characters?
Personally, I've always knew the characters of Street Fighter very well. I've always liked the characters, but I also got to give credit to Mortal Kombat characters as well.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Street Fighter, like Blanca, I feel like anybody pretty much knows her, knows her name, whatever. But whatever it is, you know.
Right.
But also, yeah, Mortal Kombat, like I said earlier, like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, Liu Kang, you know.
Oh yeah,
like,
don't forget Johnny Cage.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cage. Like you got so many really like well-known and memorable characters as well. But that's tough because Street Fighter as well, like you said, you got Ken, you got Ryu, you got Chun-Li, you got Honda, Guile, yeah, like
Zangief,
yeah,
Dhalsim.
Actually, you know what? Like I feel like when it comes down to it, although Sub-Zero, Scorpion, you know, all those characters are very memorable,
right?
I feel like Mortal Kombat has like a lot of random characters that are kind of like irrelevant, that no one really is like, oh, I love that character, you know what I mean?
Right. Or even because I do not remember, even as a kid, of wanting to even be a Mortal Kombat character for Halloween. I remember I remember even considering being a Street Fighter character for Halloween. Now, I even remember when I was in 5th grade. Now, we were, because we were like doing, like, I think we were doing Culture Week or something in my class. We've been talking about Japan. I was already thinking of the idea of maybe dressing up as Ryu.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like overall Street Fighter, all their characters are like very versatile. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
There's not 2 characters that are super alike, and I feel like in a way, I mean, kind of, but
and Ken sort of.
Yeah.
But they aren't dressed. They aren't dressed like they just do the same special moves. Like they both wear gi, but you can tell them apart. But like, really, with Mortal Kombat, there's just 2 characters that are dressed alike. That is.
Like even Scorpion and Sub-Zero, you know?
Yes.
Like I feel like their costumes are very similar, it's just a different color.
Different color.
Yeah. But I mean like Ken and Ryu, at least like they changed their hair color.
Yes.
You know, they're different. I think they're different from different countries, right?
Yes. I mean, like I know those 2 train together.
Yeah.
And,
so it's like it seems like a more overall, like I feel like they put more thought maybe into their character design. Like so that all the characters are complement each other, but they're still different, you know. And I feel
Yes.
like Mortal Kombat has a lot of like headliner characters, but then it also has a lot of like B-list characters, you know what I mean? Where it's like,
Right.
I'm not really gonna choose that one, or you know what I mean? Like, but I do
Right.
like that actually. The Mortal Kombat games now, they've actually like brought in more of more like other characters, like random. Like I know in the last Mortal Kombat you could play with Jason Voorhees from like Friday the 13th. And then before that, you could play with like Freddy Krueger. So it's like
yeah.
and then in the new one, Mortal Kombat 11, you can play as Joker. So like it's kind of cool that they bring in like a different, like different worlds into it. So that's kind of cool. But again, I feel like that's because they lack in original characters.
Yes.
That they feel the need to bring in like, oh, well, people will like this character, so let's bring them in. You know?
Right. Now that you brought it up, you're talking about the Mortal Kombat games where they're like having DC characters, because I know they've done some games where Mortal Kombat fights with DC characters.
Yeah.
But now with Street Fighter characters and other Capcom characters, there's been Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, that's true.
There was also Capcom versus SNK. For those who don't know about SNK, they had games like King of Fighters, Fatal Fury. So there was that game where Street Fighter characters pretty much fought against Fatal Fury characters.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I remember Marvel versus Capcom for sure. That was a fun one.
But you've never played Capcom versus SNK?
No.
Yeah, I definitely recommend playing that game.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a shot sometime. Do you know where I can get that game?
Get that game?
Yeah, the Street Fighter versus, was it SMK?
SNK.
SNK.
Well, it depends on what system. I know they had released it on.
Do you have it?
I used to have it
Oh.
back in the days when I had Dreamcast.
Oh yeah, I used to have the Dreamcast. I used to play Crazy Taxi on there.
Oh, Crazy Taxi. Never heard of that game.
It's just you're a taxi driver and you have to drop people off, but you drive like crazy. So yeah, it's a Crazy Taxi. All right, so
Yeah.
then who do you think takes this point then for best characters?
I would have to definitely give it to Street Fighter.
All right, yeah, I think I have to agree with you. So round 5, right? Yeah, I think it's round 5 because it was 2-2. It was but it was a tie on one of them. So it's round 4. Round 4 goes to Street Fighter, which brings us now to Street Fighter with 3 points and Mortal Kombat with 2 points. Now our last round. Overall, every aspect, which is a better game? Which game are you more likely to recommend to someone? They only have enough to buy one game. Are they buying Street Fighter? Are they buying Mortal Kombat? What do you think?
Oh, Street Fighter hands down.
Really?
Yeah,
I
that's
feel like
my pick.
Yeah, I feel like I can see that. Like I understand like why you would say that. Do you think that the story mode is also better like in Street Fighter? Because I don't know like Mortal Kombat if they develop too much. Because I know like you said like there's even backstory for Ryu and Ken training together. There's
The story mode is very good.
Yeah.
I've even seen like adaptations of this, even the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. Like very good. I've even like read comics, a very good story. Like even on the villains like the Shadowloo cartel, the characters Balrog the boxer, Vega Vega.
Oh, Vega with the mask, right?
Yeah, and Claw and Sagat. With the eye patch, then of course M. Bison.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, another fact I'd like to bring out. They had to change the names of these characters, like in Japan. Like, actually, M. Bison name was Vega, and Balrog, like Vega's name was Balrog, but like, see, Balrog, who was the boxer, his name in Japan was M. Bison, but they changed it because of Mike Tyson. Oh yeah, which is a coincidence because there's also a game called Punch-Out with Mike Tyson on Nintendo.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's why they kind of like had to switch the names around with them.
Yeah, I feel like then when it comes to like Street Fighter, if you want to just play the story mode, if you want to just like get into the game, I definitely think that would be the option. But what about like if you just want to like fight with your friends, like play some characters, you know, maybe a couple hours and just like
Well, both are good options.
Yeah.
So
It's a tough one. I guess it just depends what you're into. Like if you want the more realistic graphics like Mortal Kombat, and like you like Sub-Zero, you like, the characters, and you want to get into those, then I would say Mortal Kombat. But at the same time,
we'll just give them the point.
yeah, I think it's got to be a tie. Both games hold
Yeah.
up really well even today. They're fun to play. They're just really awesome to hang out. It's like it's not too serious. It's not like an actual 5-hour, 6-hour story mode where you're like doing all this stuff. It's like
Right.
it's just for fun. So both games are definitely still holding up today, and will, I feel, continue to hold up for years to come. So with both of them getting the point, that brings us to the conclusion that Street Fighter has 4 points, Mortal Kombat has 3. So the winner of this showdown is Street Fighter.
KO.
That was a good one. So if you agree, disagree, what are your opinions? Leave a comment down below. Let us know. And let us know who do you want to see in next week's showdown, so that we can make sure that we continue to bring content that interests all of you listeners.
Now our next segment, Top It or Pop It. Let them know how it works, Squiggy.
Alright, so Top It or Pop It is a really fun game. The way it works is, I'm going to give Duke here a list of a category, and he has to say, does he top it, which is good, or does he pop it, which is get it out of here. So today's category is movies.
Based from video games.
Yep, based from video games.
Yeah. Some have somewhat been hits, but some of them have been misses.
Yeah, so the fun thing is Duke doesn't know what movie I'm going to say next, so it's a surprise. Alright, so let's get right into it. Our first movie based off a video game is a pretty well-known one, Mortal Kombat.
Top it for the first one.
Is the first one Annihilation, or is that the second one?
I believe that is the second one.
Okay. So the first one, Mortal Kombat, you're going to top it?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because they did pretty well with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, our next movie based off a video game is Street Fighter.
Pop it, because it was like, there's just so many reasons it was bad. Like, badly acted, badly written, but it is watchable if you want to laugh and stuff.
It's more of a comedy.
Yes. And if you're like a Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, that's the reason to justify it.
Okay, so then it's pretty funny, the acting.
Yeah. I can like when there was a situation happening, like the lamest quotes but funny at the same time was, "Quick, change the channel."
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Street Fighter. It's funny that was made into a movie, and Mortal Kombat, because appropriately that's what our showdown was about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up next we got Pokemon, the first movie, which is the one with Mewtwo and Mew.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't know if I can give a accurate opinion.
Okay. I remember this was one of the first movies that I actually was given as a gift back when I was a kid, and I gotta say, the whole Mewtwo and Mew hype at that time was crazy. I remember even when you went to the movie theater, you would get a little gold card. It was it wasn't really gold, but it was a little solid card, but it was covered in fake gold, I guess.
Oh yeah, I did remember receiving it as a birthday gift for my 11th birthday, but I guess I could say pop it because I had at least good memories about it, and I don't remember feeling anything negative towards it.
So top it or pop it?
I would say top it.
Oh, top it, okay.
Yeah.
Cool then. So we got Pokemon, the first movie, Mewtwo versus Mew, topping it. Alright, up next, we've got Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg.
Pop it.
What? No good?
it just didn't really like hold up. But it's been a while. This is another one. It's been a while since I've seen it, and like I don't remember it. And it's nothing I remember for a lifetime to write home about. So definitely pop it.
Okay. Up next, Assassin's Creed.
Never seen it.
No?
Yeah.
I know it has Michael Fassbender, and he's a pretty good actor. So, I mean, I never saw it either. But I heard it was all right. So, since we've never seen it, I guess we won't give a verdict on it.
Right.
Okay, up next, Doom with The Rock.
Pop it. I couldn't even get all the way through the movie. I stopped right in the middle because it was just boring.
Really? It was that bad?
It was just boring. I could not get into it. So I gave up halfway through the movie.
I heard they might remake it or do a different one. I was reading something about it, but but that sucks. Usually The Rock has some good movies, you know. All right, up next, Pokemon 2000. That's the one with Lugia. I'm not sure exactly how to say it, but
that's another one I don't remember too well, but
it was like with the legendary birds.
Yeah, I could say top it for at least what I do remember of it, that I enjoyed it when I saw it, but I don't remember it too well because I didn't see it that much.
Yeah.
And
that one was pretty good, actually. I liked it. I would say top it. All right, up next, we got Tomb Raider with Angelina Jolie.
That's another one I don't think I remember too well, but I would say it never really captured my interest, so I would most likely say pop it.
Pop it?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the remake of it? Did you get to see that one?
I did not, so I can't really comment on it. But like, honestly, I don't remember if I even saw the first one. I might have seen bits and pieces, but like most of the video game movies so far haven't like made an impact for me to remember fondly of it.
Okay, that's fair. All right, up next is a little different. This is a whole series. I want you to top or pop this whole series. Resident Evil.
I never played too much of the games. I've watched people play, but also the movies, I've seen bits and pieces of it. So it's like,
what'd you think of the game?
The game, I thought it was like good graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been around for a while.
So I really don't think I have an accurate opinion on there.
Okay. Well, if you're listening and you've seen the Resident Evil series, leave a comment below. Let us know, is it worth getting into, or do you pop it? Up next, we've got Silent Hill.
Never seen it.
No? I heard it's pretty scary. My wife told me she watched it and it was pretty scary. But yeah, I've never really known much about it. So, same thing. If you're listening and you've seen Silent Hill, let us know. Top it or pop it. Is it worth watching, or don't waste my time? All right, up next, Angry Birds movie.
Never seen it.
No?
No, I haven't.
I actually watched it. It was pretty good, actually. It was kind of funny. They try to make like jokes for like kind of adults, you know, but like that are like a little bit, they'll just go over the kid's head, you know. But it was pretty funny overall, I guess. The character design and animation was pretty good. All right, up next we've got Rampage.
Ooh, that's just another one I had not sit down to watch.
No?
Yeah.
I actually saw it in theaters because I remember I used to love the game. I used to love playing that game. When we used to have like birthday parties or something, like my friends would bring Rampage and we would just be there for hours destroying cities. But I'd say the movie was okay. It was very like, I'd say maybe like a C or B movie. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it at the top of the list, so I won't top it, but I wouldn't pop it either. But let us know what you think. All right, now this one, Duke and I watched this together in theaters. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Top it for sure. It's finally a movie where, based from a video game that got it right, that made you like it, you might as well have asked yourself, have I died and gone to heaven? It was, they really did it justice.
Yeah, I felt like it really did bring you into a world where it's like if Sonic was real, and even seeing the Mushroom Kingdom at the end, that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, and another thing was they almost came close to screwing it up when they had, if you saw the earlier design, but they cared enough to make him look like the way he's supposed to look like, and it shows that they cared about the fans, so that's why it definitely deserves to be topped.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Jim Carrey, you can't go wrong with Jim Carrey. He was so great as Dr. Robotnik. I think he was so funny.
Like being a Jim Carrey fan and a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, it's like you're in luck.
Yeah, it's a good one. So what do you say, top it or pop it?
Oh yeah,
you said top it, right?
Top it, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, check that one out if you guys haven't checked it out yet. James Marsden, Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz as Sonic's voice. All right, up next we've got Detective Pikachu.
Well, I would say I did see that in the theaters in 3D.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I would say the visual effects were good, but I didn't like it as much as Sonic, but since they put effort into it, I will give them credit they deserve. So I would say top it for their effort, even though I didn't like it nearly as much as I liked Sonic.
Yeah. I like that. I like that they brought you into like the Pokemon world. I feel like that's something that we never got to really see. So with all the CGI we have now, to be able to see like these Pokemon that we grew up with, and all that, like seeing them actually interact, it was just a different experience, and definitely I liked it. I'm not a big Ryan Reynolds fan, so having him be the voice, I was kind of like, I don't know. I went in with my doubts, but because I thought I'm just gonna be hearing Deadpool the whole time.
Right.
But
it's like pick one famous role and stick with it is what I say, because like you can't have all the roles.
Yeah, you can't have all the roles.
This isn't like the day when we had John. It's not like in the days of John Wayne where he had pretty much most of the roles.
Yeah, he was pretty versatile, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, Ryan Reynolds, just stick to being Deadpool, But anyway, it was pretty good, though. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. So, I definitely agree. I'd probably top it. Okay, now we've got one more. And the last movie for this segment of Top It or Pop It, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Pop it for sure. Like when I was a kid, I mean, I didn't mind it as much because I didn't have the concept to recognize a bad movie from a good movie, even for video games.
Yeah.
Like the only things they could only get down was maybe the colors of the suit, but not the right pattern and stuff.
Yeah.
There was just so much wrong with this movie, like Bowser being half human, half reptilian, and like it was just not well thought out, and there was just like a lot of things they got wrong with the characters, like because in the game we all know they're both Italian, but like in the movie it's like you have actors playing them who aren't Italian, and just like trying to have them be typical New Yorker plumbers, and it just didn't work.
Yeah, I get you. Like, I feel like they could have definitely done so much more, and that's why also I heard that within the next few years, I think by 2022, they're gonna release like a new Super Mario movie, and I feel like with like we were talking right now, the record they have like Detective Pikachu and Sonic the Hedgehog. I feel like I have some high hopes for this next one, for Super Mario Brothers movie, if it's done right. Right.
From what I did hear, is that I believe like the creator of Mario is going to have some involvement in this, and like Illuminati, the one who did Despicable Me, or
Illumination.
Illuminati.
Yeah. The secret society. No.
Yeah,
that's funny. But yeah, Illumination. They did Despicable Me, and I think they also did Secret Life of Pets. I think.
Yes, I think I would think so.
That animation is awesome, so I would not be disappointed, because even if we see like a cartoon version, just to be able to really like be immersed into that world and actually like see what it's like living, like what does Mario do when he's not jumping around like fighting the little bosses, what does he do in his spare time? It'd be fun to see that,
Right, and getting a proper Mario adaptation we deserve. For years we have deserved it. Now, like like even the like late 80s, early 90s of the cartoons were okay, but it's like it still deserved better.
Yeah. I feel like he's one of the most iconic like superhero not superhero, sorry. I was thinking Super Mario, so superhero. But video game characters along with Sonic, right, which we talked about in our in another podcast. But yeah, so Mario definitely deserves, like, come on, man, you know, like, make a good movie already. So I'm definitely excited for that. Also, Mega Man would be a cool thing to see done right.
Definitely.
Yeah, so hopefully they continue to do that. I also heard that in Universal Studios they want to open like a Nintendo Land. Yeah, where I'm not sure if it's Universal Studios Hollywood or Universal Studios Orlando, but I heard, or maybe even overseas, but I heard that they want to open a Nintendo Land where you're pretty much in the in like Mario's Kingdom, and you see like the castles and like things like that, and then they're also gonna have a section for Pokemon and a section for like all kinds of different Nintendo games. So I thought that was pretty exciting. But yeah, so Super Mario Brothers movie, definitely pop it. Didn't do justice, but in the good news, looking forward to the new Super Mario movie that should be coming out within the next few years. So, any last comments for this segment, Duke?
I don't think I have any more stuff to say on the topic. I think we covered it all.
All right, awesome. Then, if you agree with our top it or pop it, if you disagree, that's fine. Leave a comment, let us know, so that maybe you can sway us to give certain movies another shot. You know, maybe we can view it from a different perspective. It's all about opening our mind and broadening our horizons. So we're open. So leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel so you can see all of the Weekly Bubble podcasts. And now that brings us to our last segment of the day. It's Chew on This. So for this week's Chew on This, Duke, what do you have for the people to watch, listen to, read? Anything that you think that would be worth recommending, let them know.
Oh, I have an album that just came out this year that I personally recommend. It's G.E. Smith and Leroy Bell. For those who don't know who G.E. Smith is, he actually played for Hall & Oates, and he was like the guitarist for the Saturday Night Live band back in that era with Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Dana Carvey, and all them guys. And he was like on there for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's like done some other albums. So yeah, I definitely say listen to Stony Hill. It's a good album.
Stony Hill?
Yeah.
Okay, G.E. Smith and who?
Leroy Bell.
Leroy Bell. So G.E. Smith and Leroy Bell, Stony Hill.
Yep.
Check that album out. Anything else?
Oh yeah.
I also wanted to recommend something, if that's all right. Recently, my wife and I have started watching Sister Sister on Netflix. And I know it's an old show, but watching it now, it's been so much funnier than when I was a kid. Of course, when I was a kid, I liked it and all that, but I don't know, I feel like there were so many jokes that went over my head, and now rewatching it, it's a nice show to just, you know, relax to at the end of the day before bed, watch a couple episodes, you know, when you're not watching The Office or Seinfeld or listening to the Weekly Bubble. Definitely check out Sister Sister. So yeah, if there's not anything else, Duke, then let's close this one out.
Right. And thank you for joining us for this week's episode. And remember, stay positive. Don't let anyone burst your bubble. See you all next week.